There is no longer any loyalty in this field when your own relatives sign your death in ink. Yes, in a sealed court document that simply spreads like wildfire. The man, Stevie J, Lil Scrappy's whole family tree was just made public by the person. At the core of mayhem, and the contents of this file, darling, are more deadly than any diss song ever written. Lil Scrappy's mother is Bambi. The source said that while Stevie was carrying the smoking gun, a member of Scrappy's own family allegedly tried to sabotage his legal defense from the shadows. The bomb was dropped by whom? This isn't reality TV. It's fight audio recordings, covert texts, unexpected betrayals, and the judge wasn't even able to regulate it. Stevie J was in open court, and TMZ isn't the blogs. Why is the question? You'll be questioning everything you thought you knew about Stevie and the people he was standing up for by the end of this film. Here's destruction, forget drama, prepare your popcorn, because we have just pressed play on the year's most shocking exposé about tenacious Bambi and the chaotic empire they tried to hide. As another confidential, it was supposed to stay sealed. The court documents are buried in the system, much like the scandal from yesterday, but nothing is ever really forgotten, especially when Stevie J is involved, and what he just disclosed isn't just filthy. It's an entire family tree might be destroyed by the information we're discussing. The family of Lil Scrappy has always had to strike a balance between dysfunction and total ruin. Yet, insiders say that Stevie J's courtroom leak, which ruined the entire facade, is the final straw. To be clear, this has nothing to do with old feuds or offensive comments on Instagram. Is about a terrifying treachery that, according to court insider Stevie, would make Mama D mute for the first time in her life, as well as federal-level dirt. Sealed affidavit hidden recordings. Jay filed an emergency motion during a civil trial that was still in progress, but rather than focusing on the case, he sent a flash, in what is being dubbed an intentional exposé, DVD, and written declaration, that revealed years of alleged manipulation, emotional abuse, and financial fraud by Lil Scrappy's own family. Yes, it's a list of people. Stevie claims to have at least 2 unnamed relatives who have supposedly been running a game on Scrappy behind closed doors for years, as well as the text receipts for the dysfunctional Mother D Bambi's family gathering. Communications, sound recordings, and even security footage that show how Scrappy was used as a pawn in his own life while he was out pursuing his music bag and performing at clubs, accused of stealing money, conducting illegal business, and abusing his reputation in order to build their own questionable enterprise. Worse, according to Stevie, I told him, he continued, warning Scrappy years ago, claimed that I told him to watch his back on a phone clip that was made public, but he believed I was being irresponsible. Now take a look at the flash drive, which appears to include footage from a family dinner. Don't worry, he never checks the accounts, Bambi is heard saying in Atlanta. Another clip, allegedly from a Stevie J, provides their full government names in the court transcript, and 2 people can be seen on the security footage outside Mad's house depositing what looked to be bundles of cash inside a duffel bag. According to a source close to the court, Stevie's actions were more like him declaring war and showing up with ammo than just exposing the family. Let's look at the driving force behind this. Let's assume that Stevie J harbors resentment. He apparently went out of his way to help Scrappy conceal a scandal involving a botched business venture related to a wellness brand that, to keep Scrappy out of legal hot water, Stevie says he never launched and signed the documents himself. But guess who deserted him when that problem reappeared? His whole group felt duped, and that's right, Scrappy. This leak is retaliation, not justice, but it gets mixed up since court documents claim that Stevie J disclosed not only the family's dubious financial status, but also a full phony therapy plotline allegedly intended for love and hip-hop producers. Yes, the infamous season in which Bambi and Scrappy. According to Stevie, our couple's counseling session was a charade to hide the reality that the real cause of the quarrel was money laundering rather than love. Stevie claims that Scrappy left the stage after finding out that Mama D had taken out a debt in his name and defaulted on it, but this scenario was never shown. Producers begged him to retain the loan, he says. Silent, and even offered him a bonus cash for being silent, but he refused. You would assume that, because he is now disclosing everything, the drama would stop there, but it didn't. The real heat began to rise after the release late Thursday. A burner Instagram account shared a grainy screen grab of a court document late at night with the title Exhibit D. It was allegedly remarked by Mama D, he was too feeble to run his own life. Therefore, we had to do, so Mama D was the mastermind behind the scam. This is not the plot twist I needed. One fan said shortly after the screenshot we were required to take went viral, leaving Twitter stunned. Another user said, Stevie J just became the most dangerous man on reality TV, respect and the consequences they're facing, at 2 a.m. coming swiftly. A number of bloggers have already reported that VH1 Legal is hurriedly trying to ascertain whether Stevie's assertions are true. The network may be contemplating a potential class action lawsuit for carelessness and defamation, in addition to having to air entire seasons that are currently being criticized, dishonest, and we haven't even talked about the child support fraud, identity theft, an anonymous whistleblower who claims to have worked as a financial assistant for Scrappy's sources, claim that after interviewing the whistleblower, Stevie's legal team was told to forge his signature on several documents, purposefully presenting more evidence. Such a voice memo allegedly capturing Mama D stating, "If he finds out it's over for all of us," as in, what is this, some kind of mob film? Even more concerning is the possibility that Scrappy may not have been completely informed of one of the court's internal memos. Says, the defendant appears unaware of the fraudulent activities conducted in his name. This implies that Stevie J isn't just revealing. He might be protecting Scrappy's family by keeping things from those closest to him. And you can be certain that there are stories going about Atlanta that there would soon be a second, even more horrific leak, including a secret bank account, overseas wire payments, or maybe a hidden property in Scrappy's name that he has never visited, occupied, or know existed. If that's true, then someone in that family is transferring substantial amounts of money using Scrappy as a human credit card. But this is only the beginning, because at the time of the leak, Mama D has been tweeting vague words about loyalty over everything, and Bible verses that sound more like warnings than advise, while Bambi abruptly stopped sharing any tweets, tales, or sentiments. Court insiders claim that just when it appeared that things couldn't get any messier, Stevie J hinted that another name, one that nobody anticipated coming, was about to be exposed. According to court insiders, Stevie J made a frightening remark at the end of his testimony. "You're scared about Bambi and Mad? This one will make all the difference, so wait until the next name is announced." When he presented Exhibit F, a sealed package with the letters KF scrawled on the front in red marker. Judges imposed gag orders on lawyers, and the courtroom was placed under lockdown for days. Twitter and the blogs went crazy, speculating who KF was. Some said it was a hidden relative, while others thought it might be a love and hip-hop producer who was hiding the trash. The leak came from Kendra Foster, Lil Scrappy's off-camera cousin who was previously only recognized as a little assistant and a modest church girl. No one had any idea who it was. Let's travel back in time to court filings that now assert that Stevie J was the real mastermind behind the paper trail, even if Scrappy was working on a reality show. Kendra was heading a family-run shell corporation called Royal Legacy Consulting, which the catchy Scrappy had never heard of, but which had garnered a lot of $320,000 has been transferred over the past 2 years through speaking engagements with Scrappy as the main act and bogus invoicing. The listed CFO is the worst thing, Mama D, is that they were moving money through Stevie J's old studio so profoundly that the company's main bank account was connected to an address that was registered to Stevie J's old studio. This is where it becomes extremely complicated. Property utilizing his contacts without his consent, the betrayal piled like a wedding cake, fingerprints on each tier. In a deposition, Stevie J said that he had been keeping this information to himself for years, but he had had enough of watching people's lives be destroyed by false love. In one of the allegedly court-submitted tapes, Kendra is also heard saying, "Let him tour and rap. We'll take care of the back end." He claims he is too distracted to recognize that his only concern is his image. Reddit threads are breaking down and fans are going crazy, but it seems like the back end was a full-fledged embezzlement, ring run by the exact people Lil Scrappy most trusted. Timeline's TikTok detectives are linking old Instagram accounts and hazy photos to court statements, and even YouTube gossip channels are publishing 5-part exposés to piece together the whole scope of this familial betrayal. And the worst part is that the shell company filed a lawsuit claiming identity theft, rather than just financial gain, according to Stevie's team. The IRS is currently looking into the FBI's Financial Crimes Unit for allegedly using Scrappy's social security number to file 2 tax forms, which is not only suspicious but also illegal under federal law. Requested the transcripts of the case. This is no longer only a muddle. It is criminal. Where is Scrappy in all of this? A close source claims that he learned the full extent of the betrayal while watching a gossip live feed on his burner phone, when he was inundated with messages like, "Check Exhibit F, dude, they got your clan on," before throwing the phone across the floor and walking out of the studio without saying anything. The insider says Scrappy took a silent look at the screen. His circle hasn't made any public pronouncements, interviews, or tweets recently. Instead, they've only left enigmatic Instagram comments. Mad captioned one image. Judas in another, she stated, "Only the strong survive betrayal. I raised a king, not a puppet." But what? Fans are anxious to see who the real puppet in this scenario is, as it seems that Scrappy has been tricked like a marionette by individuals he thought were on his side, if Stevie's receipts are correct. Insiders say Bambi is feeling the heat, despite Stevie's lack of attention to her in Exhibit F. Remember that lavish summer vacation she took? One of the bills she gave to the court linked the entire trip to a wellness program operated by Royal Legacy Consulting, and she posted images of private chefs, luxury cruises, and pricey bags on Instagram. Moreover, Stevie J is not done yet, asserting that Exhibit G will be included in the retreat business expense, which was allegedly funded using Scrappy's funds without his consent. At the next hearing, Kendra is accused of texting a senior VH1 producer about how to exploit Scrappy's breakdown story as a redemption storyline for the show's translation for the next season. Stevie was given the letter by an anonymous production assistant named Jay, who intended to use his suffering to boost ratings while blinding him. Stevie J, who has come out as more than just the whistleblower, says he was tired of seeing real lives destroyed for phony drama, but this rabbit hole goes further than anyone expected. Fans, however, are calling him the reality reaper since he is the strange anti-hero in this surreal tale, showing up in fan edits as the antagonist who transforms into an unexpected hero. And honestly, he looks to be at a surprise Clubhouse session earlier this week. He reportedly expressed admiration for it, saying, "I'm the one who ultimately took off the mask and let the villain out." People learn about their so-called reality star's actual character. Furthermore, the criticism has already begun, with VH1 reportedly ceasing all current work. With according to rumors, Scrappy's Circle Bambi's brand partnerships are being reevaluated, and producers of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta are racing to shoot a crisis special before the entire franchise burns to the ground. And it might be because the judge is considering starting a more thorough fraud investigation that would involve not only Scrappy's family, but possibly other cast members, according to court insiders. As previously stated, Stevie's upcoming evidence will show that a single courtroom leak might lead to charges, arrests, and potentially even jail time. But what about Scrappy, the man at the... He hasn't been seen in public for days during this time. Other sources claim he has been holed up in a secret location in Buckhead, where he has been meeting with lawyers and watching old video recordings, seasons trying to tell the difference between the real and the fake, and the most ridiculous rumor, that he would stop everything and blame his own family, which is where we are right now. And the next insiders say that at the hearing, scheduled for next Thursday, Stevie's legal team plans to present exhibits G, H, and I. According to reports, one of those is a voice message from a senior VH1 executive admitting, if it's accurate, this is no longer only a scandal. It's a franchise-ending catastrophe. And just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, they discovered the fraud but chose not to spoil the season. Stevie J doubled down if it got any darker. The new court next door claims that he was ready to go nuclear, and that he was no longer merely making discreet Instagram comments or leaking communications. Leaks claim that Stevie J's team may have provided a multi-hour audio tape to tabloid A, media and legal authorities demonstrating Lil Scrappy's family's plot to sabotage his money, keep him apart from Bambi, and guess what? Insiders claim that one of the voices on that recording sounds a lot like Mama D, though it's not certain if that's her voice. Although it's up for debate, the internet doesn't wait for evidence. Tweets like "Noi Mama Mess" and "Scratchy Setup" were being used to disparage Mum D before daybreak, became well known as fan fantasies ran wild. According to one anonymous post, Scrappy was set up to fail so his family could preserve control of his earnings. Lee Scrappy was never the problem, his whole life. Circle is a toxic mess. Stevie J just took off the mask, while Bambi, who had mostly been mute throughout, posted an enigmatic black screen to the internet. What exactly did she mean? Did she know this was going to happen, or did she just Warn Scrappy behind the scenes? I told you all in 3 words on her Instagram story, and it left people in shock, to be pushed away by his domineering family ties. But what really made this a full-fledged conflict was what happened next. A supposedly leaked text message thread from. While we cannot independently verify the timestamps of those conversations, one of Stevie J's close friends posted screenshots of Scrappy griping about his own family emotionally coercing him. Relate to the week that Scrappy made his now famous Instagram Live appearance, in which he said, "Sometimes the ones closest to you got the biggest knives for your." And here's the real deal. Immediately following that live, Scrappy erased every picture he had with Mama D. You can't tell me that's a coincidence. Let's talk now. Implications since, according to sources, Stevie J's legal team is reportedly investigating the prospect of a civil case already being filed, because this isn't just unpleasant, it's becoming legally toxic. Accusations of defamation, and maybe asking for a restraining order against Mama D on the grounds of public harassment, slander, and intimidation. Yes, the same person who was connected to each of these. You just can't make this stuff up, but hold on, a tabloid source claims that the hip-hop and bad boy controversy is now playing the victim card in court. It becomes considerably more bizarre. Furthermore, there have been rumors that Stevie J is being pursued for a documentary series by a major streaming service. Yes, a full-length program about the awful repercussions between famous families, and they allegedly want to focus on Lil Scrappy's family dispute on reality TV. Stevie J, if that contract is approved, it will be a business decision rather than merely a contentious one, transforming chaos into wealth by exposing Scrappy's inner circle one episode at a time. But since he hasn't said anything about it, let's take a moment to put Lil Scrappy back in the forefront. Uncomfortably silent without a clapback, reply, or careless posts, is it defeat or damage control? While some supporters say he's maturing and trying to escape toxic cycles, others think he's an unexplained Twitter account was the final bombshell that rocked the internet late last night, raising fears that Stevie J had the vault and that more receipts may be leaked. Posted a blurry image of what appears to be a court subpoena implicating Mama D, Scrappy, Bambi, and Stevie J. Although the document has been heavily blacked out, fans were prepared to study it as if they were watching a CSI show. The line seems to suggest a civil conspiracy to destroy one's reputation, but no official source has confirmed the document's legitimacy. But in this era of document leaks, this is by no means over, that much is certain. Some insiders claim that hip-hop and love producers are currently feverishly attempting to determine what is true, and why, allegedly, sponsors are threatening to discontinue and internalize the show since this off-screen problem has gotten so bad that it could harm it in the upcoming season. According to emails that have surfaced, Mama D and other major cast members might be recast. Yes, this is more than just a reality TV disaster. It's a total industry upheaval. So what are our next steps? In this situation, will Stevie J really bring a lawsuit against Scrappy's family? Will the public ever be able to hear those recordings? Will Bambi eventually back up her assertions? With proof? Or, like every previous instance, will everything be disregarded? There have been scandals before, but this one is notable because the truth is now being revealed. And this time, it's for revenge rather than just the ratings. And there you have it, with the entire world watching. The truth kicked the door off. Its hinges. It's not just knocking. A trail of leaked secrets and legal rumors followed Stevie J's recent detonation of a nuclear bomb on Lil Scrappy's entire family tree. And a family heritage in danger, but we'll pass it on to you now. Is Stevie J just playing a puppet? Or do you think he's exposing the real villains, master in one of the most infamous partnerships and the most well-known hip-hop artist of all? Time is Lil Scrappy is the real victim in this case. Or has he been participating in the chaos and Mama D uses Bambi as a catalyst or symbol? Eventually or conveniently vindicated as silent as the family collapses. Submit your thoughts in the comments. Since this story is far from over, and trust me, your perspective may, just look for yourself in our next expose if you arrived at this stage. I applaud you for enduring the insane crush that please click like if you're as shocked as we're hit if you want to subscribe. Authentic tea prior to its appearance on blogs. And don't forget to sound the alert to make sure you don't overlook any untidy now. Because there are numerous. We bring you the chaos they're trying to hide. I do not wish for you to see this. Veb was where? The drama is always sincere, even when the stay informed, stay curious, and avoid the news. Seeing us.